Chipped off the boards by Drew Moores. It's reset at center. Here's Hutchings. Right up through the middle on net for Morgan. He bobbled the puck. It pops up in the air and comes back down. Kennedy gets it behind the net, dances around Cleary, and it's dumped back into Kennedy once again. Moores heading in to try to grab a hold of it. Kearley coming in to lay the body. Now it's Tilley. Up for Cleary, now ahead. And maybe a chance for Drew Moores coming in. Moores holding, stalling, that's blocked, and now a one-on-one up the other way. Cleary with Kearley up there as well, and a great play by the defenseman. Now here's Kennedy taking over. Cleary putting the pressure on, nice stop by Morgan, comes out to the blue line and a nice chip, and away goes Spurl. But Brandon Philpott there to whack it away. Arena face-off went out to the blue line. It's Staub putting it on net. Kennedy looked to be set free in front of the goal. Now it's Piercy. Up ice, Kennedy looked to clear it out. Moores will kick it through, and it's Spurl taking over. Percy and Moores going to the net, and there's an offsides call with 14:43 left to go. Griffiths will send it in. It goes all the way around the wall. Simmons looking to use the body against Moores. He throws it to the front of the net. Comes up for Kearley. Kearley will drop it back to Williams. Williams will rim it all the way around for Tilley, who turns and will lob it up in the air. Dumped in off the wall. It's Williams who will swing it around the half wall once again, and that'll just get out of the zone as Dillon will try his luck and test out Dace Grucci. Here's Kennedy. Beautiful look for Kearley. He'll just get enough of a redirection on that one to get the Growlers some fresh legs out there. Tucker with Daw and Morgan out at the blue line. And let me tell you, that Daw and Morgan pairing has been absolute magic for the Growlers this year. Here's Johnny Russell, shorthanded. Look to beat Dace Grucci. A nice effort from the Holy Heart Highlander against his fellow Highlander. And now it's sent ahead for Boland. Boland moving in. Sends it over for Morgan now. It's Hines who looks to get it. Comes free for O'Brien. O'Brien back out for Tucker. Can the Growlers set it up here? Tucker corrals the puck out high. Holds on his forehand. And Johnny Russell says thank you very much and sends it down the other way and heads to the bench for a change. Well, Johnny Russell isn't the only hockey legend in his family. His grandfather is Bud Duffett. And you might be wondering who Bud Duffett is. Spurl. Spurl flips that one in deep. Daw gets in his way as Morgan will drop it back for Daw. Philpott sneaking behind the defense. Daw will send it over for Morgan. And now Morgan will give it one more time for Chafe. Chafe skates with it a bit. Bounces off the end wall. Griffiths checks his shoulder. Throws it up the middle for Moores, and now he'll drop it back for Griffiths. There's Brandon Philpott, leaving it behind for Chafe. Now Percy gives that away down low. Chafe will flip it out to the blue line, nobody home, and that'll come all the way back for Dace Grucci. Here comes Connor Williams. Williams bringing it up the other side. He'll send that one in deep. Bounces off the end wall as Cleary will play it ahead. Chopped up in the air, Bath. Turns it back for Chafe. Chafe moving on in. Philpott driving in. Linesman got in his way, but he still keeps trucking through as he pressures Hines. Now here's Bath. Cleary up ice. Spurl will catch it again. Spurl moving on in. He cuts around the right side. Spins back. Sends it out. Bath looking to be set free here as the all-mount Pearl line brings it up the other way. It's Chafe flying in. Reed Chafe, oh, it's brilliant, and he shoots it just wide of the cage. Nice effort from Reed Chafe. Here's Maloney. Pushing it through with a strong stick. Now it's a one-on-one. Spurl and Hutchings. Spurl with a nifty move. Oh, what a save by Dace Grucci. A nice effort by Ben Spurl. And now Percy will send it back down low. It's Strong who looks to... Here's Spurl. Puts it on. Grucci just gets enough on that one to get it into the corner. Pops up in the air. Comes down. Kennedy went for the body. Up ice for Tilly. Beautiful move from him. He has a look. Kearley's going to the net with him, and he fanned on the pass. Now Cleary look to clear it out, and this could be troublesome. Spurl looked to send Drew Moores on his way, but Brian Daw with an unbelievable play. Percy puts that one all the way around the boards. It comes for Kearley. Kearley and Kennedy. Kearley moves in and shoots, and Morgan absorbs with 5:24 left in the first. Comes free for Spurl, and now it's a 2-on-1. Moores and Spurl. Moores puts it on. Rebound comes down, and oh my goodness, Kearley goes crashing into the goalposts. Luckily, he is okay. So putting the pressure on, Tucker goes for a spill. Now here's O'Brien with a toe drag shot. Ben O'Brien had the title-winning goal last year, scored the first goal of Game 7, which ended up being the difference maker, as Scott Kirby had a shutout in that game, like we mentioned earlier. St. John's Maple Leafs had a bit of a dynasty, winning 4 straight titles. And Philpott, and a beautiful shot at the blue line by Blake Maloney to orchestrate that goal. As Party has it at center. Comes for Moores, who will scoop it around for Percy. Percy on the left, wraps it around, rebound for Moores. He was tied up. Now it's Flynn, blocked by Kennedy. Away he goes, Declan Kennedy. Steamrolling his way in. Kennedy shoots, and that's deflected high and wide. Here's Party, up for Spurl. Look up the middle. That's a gorgeous pass, but Drew Moores just couldn't get a full stick. Comes out to the blue line for Flynn, who will play it back in. Now Drew Moores to the net. Stopped by Grugy. Moores twists away. It's Spurl, who will get it back for Percy. And that's sent around for Moores. Back down low for Percy. Percy looking to find it. It's Daw. Up the middle for Kennedy, who just avoids the hit. Pops up in the air and heads out of play with 13:22 remaining now. There's Morgan. Up the other way for Tilly. Tilly to Kennedy. Kennedy coming in. It comes out to the blue line for Daw, who puts it on. Morgan with the stop. Well, a bit of a slower pace second period. Well, Ethan Percy going to get kicked out the dot. Drew Moore is going to come in and take over. Kearley looking to keep it in, and he'll just barely do so. But Cleary going to step up and take over as Moores brings it up the other way. Moores lifting the stick. Sent around the wall. Percy going to take it. Comes to Spurl. Spurl on the backhand, couldn't get it to the net. Now another chance in front. They score! Ethan Percy, the man who was kicked out of the faceoff dot, gets on the score. Here's Morgan. He's got the puck. He'll play it up the middle for Philpott, who will backhand it in. Now Cleary. He'll chop that one out of the zone. Sent back in deep by the Pinnacle Growlers as Hines will grab it. Now Philpott looked to throw it in front, couldn't find a body. And it's Morgan who's going to reset it. Bath gets the redirection. Now it comes up for Moores. Moores leaving it for Spurl. Drop back over. Spurl tries again. Shot goes just wide of the net. Moores sandwiched up against the wall. Comes free for Philpott. He just pokes it ahead. Now Spurl will backhand that one in deep. Morgan for Daw, and now all the way around for Philpott, who just couldn't get a hold of it. Here's Philpott. Over to Bath. Bath shoots off the bar. Oh, great, and Bath thought he had it. He had his stick raised in air and everything, but Swung down and around the boards for Spurl, who lost it, took a hit, and it's Kennedy who's leading the charge. Kearley driving to the net. Kennedy going to do it himself as he drags it just wide of the net. Now out to Maloney. Maloney steps in and fires a nice blocked shot by the stick of Ethan Percy. Now looking to get it to the front of the net. It's cleared down the ice by Spurl. Hutchings back for Maloney. Maloney up ice for Tilley, and it comes ahead for Kennedy. Kearley driving to the net. Tilley throwing it on, testing his luck, and a couple of chances there in front. The net almost came off there, as Daniel Kearley's stick completely shattered there in front of the net. He lost the bud and the blade as he heads to the bench to get a new one. Now Spurl back to Percy, who will dump it in. And now the Growlers have some room here as it's left behind for Connor Williams. Williams up for Philpott. Now Griffiths will send it back. Williams. Here's Kennedy right off the draw, trying to dance his way in, but Flynn tied him up. It's Daw up the middle. Weird deflection in by Tilley, but it'll work out for the Growlers as Kennedy tries to take it. Percy will get a friendly bounce off the boards, and it's Moores who will chop that one into the far corner. Now Moores back down low. It's Spurl to Kennedy. Kennedy taking it down our far side. Now Flynn will intercept, and it's a counterattack for the Blizzard left behind. And it's intercepted by the Pinnacle Growlers, and now they come up the other way. Tilley driving hard. Kearley with the shot, and again, Morgan just getting enough. Out to the point for Morgan, who tries to keep it in. Now it's Tilley on net. Deflected off the stick of Ethan Percy and almost into his own net. And he'll clear that down the ice. And off the side of the net for an icing call with 11:58 remaining. It's rimmed all the way around the boards, tipped and icing waved off. Well, what a successful play by the East Coast Blizzard to get it out and get the icing, or get the clearance and get the change. And now O'Brien around the side, holds on, keeps it going, and he just puts it up over the net. The Growlers don't have a great shooting percentage here tonight. They've tried to go upstairs a bit too much and have been putting it over the net. If they can get their shots on target, I think this would be a different game tonight. Here's Maloney. Puts it on. Morgan sprawling out to make the glove hand save. In. Turns the corner. Couldn't give it to O'Brien, and now back the other way come the Blizzard. It's Spurl puts the puck on, and Gruchy diving hard to cover it up with 5:56. Here's Morgan. Right up the middle. It's picked off by Party, and he'll send that one back in. Here's Daw. Up for O'Brien. Bolin looks to give it to O'Brien, and it's pops up in the air and comes down for Morgan. Morgan gave it away down low for Moores. Moores out to the blue line for Party, who puts it on. Rebound comes down. Bolin will collect and play it up ice for Tucker. Tucker with a beautiful move around. Drops it back, and Drew Moores with a nice last-ditch effort. That's a gorgeous play. Oh, what a save. Willie Morgan standing on his head and making a glorious, glorious save. Here's Tucker now to the net, looking to fire it on. Bolin trying to find it, and the net comes off. And the Growlers are unhappy about that with 4:59 left.